So you must have come back from PT examination 2019, and I'm also ready with the analysis as every year we do it. And then I would like to see some portions that we have here, particularly in terms of distribution. I have some observations to make, but then a lot of time people ask me always that how is the score distributed, how the different areas have different questions. This year, I think as always, UPSC asks 3 questions in 1 question. So it would be very tentative, because if I may classify this as an economy question, somebody may classify that as a current question. So please take this division that I am giving you with a pinch of salt. And then there I can see here is that we have got history question is having a upswing, and it's got about 16 question, predominantly coming from cultural area. And then we also got economy question, again has got a big rise that we have got there, is about 22 questions. We have got geography, about 10 questions. Environment, ecology that we have got is about 15 questions. Science tech and then technology questions got 12 questions. Polity about 19 questions. And also we can see current, which is 6 questions. But then I told you, there is a possibility the current could be, let's say, 12 questions or 13, 15, 16 questions. But I may be biased that I would have counted them as part of polity or economy questions. So if I look at the general observation about this year's question, I can find that the trend has been moving towards more of those areas of question which has got, I suppose more of a conceptual questions, where it's not so much of factual or rote learning which is going to help you. In fact, I can say that if you've not been reading a few weeks before the examination, your performance is not going to be affected. So it's more of a conceptual question, and those students who have been preparing over a long period of time, their senses of getting the question right would have definitely developed and would have benefited in this year's PT 2019. I think we have got the areas from the basic themes like history, geography, economy, political science, and then science. These areas have acquired major stake, as unlike the previous years where we had like more of a questions of factual natures were asked in terms of current in particular. I suppose I would see that opinion-based questions also have gone up, and then they are trying to see if the students, they have got, I would say, reasoning senses developed or not. So when you are reading, I would like to advise you that just don't stop at the fact, go beyond and think in your mind, and then see that what all dimensions it has got and what all kind of opinion can be had there. And of course, there are some questions of opinion nature where I'm sure there's going to be a debate going to go on for a few weeks, or maybe ultimately will never be settled on what opinion which UPSC has taken on that. Nobody would ever come to know about that. So there are some questions which can be debated here. I suppose I would like to tell you that a few broad observations which I can see here is that a lot of culture question has come. So I think when you're preparing, you should try and see the history, not from the historical perspective, but also from the cultural perspective also, which basically has got painting and architecture, and those components have to be definitely accounted for. Geography questions, there are a large number of regional questions have come. Like when you are doing map reading carefully, I'm sure you will be finding it very, very easy for you. And there are some questions which are concept-based questions also in geography. But then it's not that UPSC has forgotten its traditional way of asking regional questions, this river or that city and this glacier and that river. Those classical questions have come back again. So I think you should never ever think that whatever a pattern which has come, that will stick forever. So there are questions of such nature also seen this year. Environmental questions, I suppose I have found that they are textured questions in the sense like they have been hybridized environment with ecology, the environment with science technology, environment with policy. I've seen some questions which are basically been hybridized. So don't read environment in silos. Read with science and technology and read it with also policy. I suppose another set of questions I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions I can count here, which are pattern-based question, trend-based question, how it is improving, how it is changing, which are the descending order or like that. So I suppose you should be, when you're reading, try and see if the patterns are there emerging in some areas, how you are actually able to appreciate that pattern or not. I think the questions on basic science has got biasness towards I would say, biology. That has been in the past also, and this trend continues as far as biology and science relationship is concerned. And then you should be careful about opinion-based question. Of course, there are some opinion-based questions, as I told you, which will be debated for times to come. But then the commonsensical questions are also there. But then for common sense questions, you need to have a deeper understanding. Develop your reasoning capacity for those kind of questions, which is where the opinion is being sought. It's not very like a question on the surface that you can pick up an answer and give it. Also, I see there's a sudden rise, in fact, it has been continuing for some time, in policy-based questions. So a lot of places where we have policy changed, we have legislation brought about, there are questions emerging. So that's one area I would like you to look into, the policy changes and also the laws being formulated by the country. So those aspects also to be taken care of. And then also Supreme Court judgment and those components also seem to be appearing as part of the question, and expect you to be following them as part of not only current affair but also in terms of the context, like the one question, right to life based questions, or right to freedom of questions, or liberty questions. These are the questions which you have got, which basically invokes some kind of understanding of the issue. Not factual cognizance is going to be enough. I suppose you should be careful about this opinion based questions, and they can be differentiated actually. And I have also seen that some more biasness towards international current issues, so you should be careful about them as well. But all in all, I can see that UPSC in this years of examination, it's slightly lengthy paper. The people who have done broad reading, they'll be definitely at advantage. And at KSG, as we always insist on larger reading, we would definitely have this covered. In fact, we'll be uploading a separate details about from which areas the questions have come. And then you would also get to see as to why this particular answer is correct, and from which part of KSG material we have them covered. And the more such questions come, the students who have been preparing with lots of details, they will be at advantageous position. But I would also like to tell you that you should not spend too much of time in counting and matching and then discussing, since there are more opinion-based questions. There's going to be some doubt about some questions. So I would request you, please get back to action and start preparing for mains. My best wishes are with you. God bless. Thank you very much.